Hi everyone, hope everyone's well. We're back today for the BTC market update with Zoom X. So BTC, we're still in that big range, despite the halts having made a big drop. As for BTC, it still hasn't broken its structure. So what are we going to have to watch out for today? We're in an hour. You're looking at the CME here. On the left, the Bitcoin CME, we've created a gap here, okay? It's lined up in this area. Now, I'd like to go and play this zone. You can see we've bounced off an NPOC already. Okay, we've created an NPOC here, so what I'd like to see is this. I'd like to see the price come back into this imbalance, so into the gap, maybe in here. And once we're back in there, we should have a reaction. If the reaction is good, we'll touch up the NPOC. And the aim will be to get back into this zone. We've got a big zone here of concentrated level, and that's where potentially we're coming back. Our market is likely to turn around. Conversely, if we come back here, there's no reaction here. We're going to have to come down, break our range, and go for the levels below. To give you an idea, that's it. Right now, we're between solo and strike in the range. Right now, we haven't managed to break below it, okay? So, on bullish, on BTC. What we need to know now is, do we come back through this gap and then leave? As we've often done before, like here, there was a gap, so we went straight back up. We came to take the gap that was here and then we left. So, what I'm expecting today is that as long as we stay above, Eves is milk and all that here. For me, given the gap in this zone, we should have a long. If the long that holds all the levels above are TP zones, okay, that means that if I go long at 62.4, I'll have a TP at 66.2, a TP at 68.9, and then the big TP here. Okay. The main thing to remember, guys, is that since this whole phase, we've been in a range, and you can actually play your range. You could have played it 15,000 times, as you can see. When you go below the valley, you're back above the valley, then you go up to the VH. So what we'd like to see is, first of all, to try to get back in there, go above the POC, and then come back into this zone when we go down to the VH. And then return to this zone when we get back to the upper zone. Look, it's aligned with WNPOC in offense and the current rise that's being created at this level. So what I'm going to do is potentially wait for us to get back into this area. And if it becomes bearish again, given that we'll be on the range high, there'll potentially be a return to take short. But where we are now, we're already below the veil, below the post-C, below the in the beginning of the previous movement. Maybe we'll go lower, but for the time being, my plan is that go a little higher first. Potentially retest, maybe this one, maybe this level, maybe these levels. So we'll see. And once we've had the pullback, if we haven't managed to get back above here, we'll see whether we're in this zone or in the lower zone for shorts. And for the moment, where we are, we need to favor longs over shorts, because we're at the bottom of the range, we're below the range values, we're coming into the gap we created yesterday at 2 o'clock. So if this gap holds with the FIBO, we'll automatically go higher to pass on the liquidity above it, okay? So there you have it. Today we're going long here, okay? We're waiting for this zone to short, this zone, okay? It's no more complicated. And why this zone? Because here, when we had this movement, the last one, the only important level we had was created here to come refill this level. We had to drop to this level, and that's what we did. So now if I go a little further, I push the analysis a little further. We've got our lot there. I do that. We're aligned with the NY is with the NPOC and with the top. So we've got confluences on the NPOC. If we take the first impulse we had on the NPOC, we put a FIBO, the 60 and 8 are aligned with the NPOC, and that's why we're having this reaction again. And this reaction was so powerful in the zone that we created a gap here of people who came in long, and there was no one who was able to come in short. So they're going to come back into this heading, at least to rebalance what's happened here. Okay? So to rebalance what's happened here, once we've done that, if it holds, we'll go higher. And at least look for the POC and the VH, and if we want to short it, won't be advanced level. Okay, I'd even say this big level, but since we're not going all the time up to the range, we'll have to go lower. I'd even say this big level, but since we're not going all the way to the range high, we might as well see where there are the most concentrated levels and say, okay, if we go above here, we'll go much higher, since we've gone above all that. Okay, guys, so that's today's market update. I hope it's helped you a little. This is Mimstars. Take care. Ciao, team.